So the Royal Rumble 2025 is tomorrow, and I have to do these predictions, but I am feeling very, very sick. So let's try and get this done as quickly as possible. I'm going to try my best to get this all done in one take. So this is probably going to be a fairly short video. It's currently flu season, really bad around where I live, and apparently around where other people live too. So if you are sick in any way, please feel better. I'm praying for you, and I'm also praying for myself at the same time. So all right, so let's get started. So we got four matches on the card. We have the men's rumble, we have the women's rumble, we have the ladder match between KO and Cody for the WWE Championship, and then we have the tag belts being defended. Surprisingly, on a pay per view, Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which I'm so excited for this show as a whole. I was gonna say I was excited for that match in particular, but honestly, I I think nothing but bangers on this show. And low key, I am perfectly fine with the show being 4 matches as opposed to like the normal 5 because you want to give all those matches time, especially with the tag belts being defended. And in a 2 out of 3 falls, you don't want to make it just like one quick fall, another quick fall, and then a regular match, especially with those two teams. Um, yeah, so you'd want to give that match as much time as possible. Actually, try and tell a story with the 2 out of 3 falls. Um, so you know, what, let's just start off with that one. For my prediction, it's really weird because I don't know if DIY just newly turned heels and won the tag belts. Their last reign wasn't that long, so I don't know if like they're gonna beat the Machine Guns and have a longer reign as heels, or if the Machine Guns are gonna win it back and be a what three time WWE Tag Champ. Maybe they've won it only twice. I don't know. I have to look back, but either way, their last reign was not long either. So you can honestly make a case for either team winning, and I wouldn't care because I have my expectations set. Hopefully not too high, but high enough so that this match is going to be a very very good match. But my official prediction, I'm gonna do the Machine Guns because it's it's a pay per view. They've been telling this story for what seems like a while. I haven't really kept up with SmackDown too much, but um, so I'm thinking this is going to be the payoff, and the Machine Guns are going to win it. But I don't really know where they go from here. I don't know if the story continues or not. It looks like the tag division on SmackDown is actually really freaking good. Like Los Garza, Pretty Deadly, um, others that I can't think of off the top of my head. But that's like the current like field that's going for the tag belts at the moment. I think is Andrade and Apollo Cruz going for the tag belts? I hope not. But I mean, if it gets some more TV time, sure. But like they can especially Andrade can do so much better with the singles run. Like have him fucking fight Nakamura. Like I don't know. Anyway, so that's my prediction. The Motor City Machine Guns are going to walk out with the tag belts and become I think 2 time WWE Tag Champs. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna be very upset. But anyway, so the next match we have KO with the Winged Eagle WWE Championship versus Cody Rhodes with the current undisputed WWE Championship in a ladder match. I'm going with Cody. Definitely, Cody is going to win. I don't see him losing anytime before Mania. Although I would enjoy like a KO title reign. However that happens, I don't know. I'm not necessarily predicting like a Sami Zayn heel turn or wanting a Sami Zayn heel turn, but I don't know if they did something to where KO won the like what they kind of the story they've been telling a little bit where KO wins the ladder match and wins the WWE title and then Sammy wins the Rumble, and then they have kind of the final big payoff to their however many year long feud, like decade and a half long, back and forth feud. I would love that. I don't think that's going to happen though. I think we're kind of in store for a Cody Rhodes title match. I don't know against who. I'll get into that in the Rumble, but I'm definitely going to say Cody's going to win. I don't know where you go with KO from here. I'm thinking maybe a Randy Orton Mania match, but I don't know how they're going to keep this story going for another 2 months with unless they just keep Randy gone for like another month leading up into Mania. I guess we'll see. But so yeah, so Cody Rhodes is going to be my prediction for that. Next, the Women's Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble match. There are, I think, 10 confirmed entrants. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I have a couple that I think could win. I'm thinking either Charlotte, because she's just returning, and I'm thinking maybe like a Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair match at Mania, or they could do Charlotte versus Rhea for a third time at Mania, which I wouldn't hate it, but there are definitely better options. And I think that since the Charlotte Flair vignettes have been playing on SmackDown, I think she would definitely, excuse me, she would definitely be leaning towards Tiffany Stratton. Not that that necessarily matters what show the vignettes are playing on, because she could choose any title. But I'm thinking, since they're playing on SmackDown, if she were to win, she would go for Tiffany. Um, so I'm thinking it could be Charlotte, but it could also be Io. And I'm thinking an Io versus Rhea match would be phenomenal. And that's something I would really love to see at WrestleMania. So, do I manifest an Io Sky win, or do I go with my gut and say Charlotte? I think I'm going to manifest an Io Sky win. I'm going to say Io Sky for the Women's Royal Rumble to win. Any surprises? Ooh, hang on. Final four. Who's the final four going to be? Final four, I'm thinking Charlotte, Io, Liv, and Raquel. I'm thinking those four. They're like, that's pretty much a set final four. Um, unless you, I'll get into the surprises now too, I guess. Unless you have an AJ Lee return, which I'm predicting, I'm hoping will be a surprise, and then maybe you have like Liv, AJ, um, Io, and Charlotte as a final four. That's a goated final four in my opinion. So there's that. I don't know about any other stuff. Jordan Grace, I believe, is like kind of a definite at this point. I know she's saying she's not in Indianapolis for the Rumble. Come on. Um, maybe a couple TNA guys or girls, I should say. I'm gonna be so honest. I don't really watch TNA, so I don't know many of the women on there. I know Masha Slamovich, and I think that's it. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Masha Slamovich in the Rumble. Um, NXT call ups or NXT like entrance. I'm saying Roxanne, maybe a Cora Jade, uh, Julia. Oh my God, I would love to see Julia in the Rumble. Maybe a Stephanie Vaquer. I think that's it. I would say Delta, but or what's her name now? Zarya. I'd say Zarya, but I think I think they'd be better off doing maybe like a Roxanne, Cora Jade, and then Julia. Maybe Stephanie if they could spare the entry, which I think they could. But I'm thinking those four are like gonna be um the NXT representatives in the Rumble. Maybe Lash Legend. Maybe. I'm thinking it's likely for Lash Legend to be in there. Maybe Jakara, but we'll see. So, last but not least, the men's Royal Rumble match, the match that I am I'm so unbelievably excited for. Like I can't even express how much I can't wait for this match because there's so many possible winners. We got Punk, we got Cena, we got Drew, we got Seth, we got Sammy, we got Braun, we got Penta, Shinsuke, Jay. I think there's 15 confirmed for the Rumble. I can't remember the rest off the top of my head. Rey Mysterio's in there as well. Roman. Surprised I didn't say Roman earlier. But as for my prediction, I'm kind of having the same issue as the women's Rumble because I'm torn between two. I'm torn between Cena and Punk. Like my gut wants to go Punk, but my heart wants to go Cena, and I don't know why. Because I'm thinking if Cena wins the Rumble and faces Cody at Mania, that will be good. But I don't see him winning, and I feel like maybe like a Cody Punk match would be a lot better for my interest at least. Um, and then we could have Roman win, maybe do Roman Cody 3 years in a row at Mania. There's definitely better options. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but there's definitely better options. Um, Punk Punk and Cody, maybe Punk and Gunther. Uh, you could even make a case for Jey Uso. I'm not saying he would win over either like any of those that I've just listed, but you could even make a case for Jey Uso possibly winning and going into WrestleMania trying to see if he could finally beat Gunther. Maybe develop more as a singles wrestler. I don't know. I actually love Jey Uso, but like I think he could just not necessarily try harder because I think he's trying as much as he can just to kind of develop his moveset a little bit more. I had this problem. I kind of mentioned this in the WrestleMania 40 recap video that I posted. Excuse me, where Jimmy and Jay have such similar move sets. Like one of them should have taken the time to develop more of a more of a different, I don't know, like something different to set them aside from the other, like whether Jimmy did something different or Jay or whatever. So I'm thinking leading up into Mania, if in an alternate universe where that shit was to happen and Jay was to win the Rumble, take those couple months and figure out some new moves. And you could put that part of the story too. Like, oh, I got to learn some new moves so that Gunther's not expecting it because I've fought Gunther so many times for the IC belt, for the world belt. Like, it's so, there's the writing is on the wall for that story, but obviously there's better Royal Rumble winners, and that's perfectly fine. Sammy, you can make a case for Sammy if KO wins the ladder match. Um, or I don't know, Sammy wins, fights Gunther at Mania, and then you have the rematch last year from last year's Mania, but for the world title this time. So I know they already did that, but now you can have it at Mania and see if maybe 2 years in a row Sammy can go back to back taking a title off Gunther. What else? Drew. I would love to see Drew versus Cody. I think that's more. I don't know if that's a Mania match, but honestly, if it was, I would not care at all. I think that would be. I mean, like I wouldn't care at all. As like I wouldn't have any negative feeling towards it. I would actually be very happy about that because I think Cody and Drew haven't yet told a proper story together. But after this past Raw, I really want Punk and Cody. I feel like it's gonna be Punk and Roman at Mania, but I really want Punk and Cody. So I'm same thing with the women's Rumble. I'm going to manifest a Punk victory here. I'm going to say CM Punk is going to win the men's Rumble. Final two, I'm thinking John Cena and Punk. Final four, Punk, Cena, Roman, Drew, maybe, or Punk, Cena, Roman, Seth. Seth and Drew are interchangeable, but I'm saying Punk, Cena, and Roman are going to be like the final three. I'm going to set my prediction for Seth. No, I'm going to set my prediction for Cena, Punk, Roman, and Drew as the final four. So that's that. Surprises. Surprise entrance. Joe Hendry. I think it would be kind of stupid not to have him in the Rumble. Um, any other TNA guys I can think of? Because I'm obviously more familiar with the TNA men than the TNA women. Um, but Joe Hendry should be like a definite for the Rumble. I don't know. I don't know of any like men's surprises that I can think of. Any like legends that I'd want to see. Just it's because I'm making the video now, and as soon as I turn this camera off, I'm gonna be like, oh, this guy. But so Joe Hendry definitely. Maybe a Josh Alexander from TNA. Um, I'm thinking Omos might be in the Rumble again because of his stint in Pro Wrestling Noah. Um, I think that would be a good way to kind of bring him back. I don't know if they're gonna like lead that into anything, but I'm thinking Omos might come back in this Rumble. Who do I think is going to come out numbers 1 and 2? I actually thought heavily about this. I'm thinking Jey Uso at either 1 or 2, only because you see how much they like love his entrance on Monday Night Raw, have him going for like 10 minutes. How could they not want to have that entrance in a stadium with 65,000 people? But they did that last year with Jay coming out number 1. That's why I kind of think he'd come out number 2. Unless they do back to back, he comes out number 1. I don't know. If he does, that's how you can tell that they only want him coming out number 1 for the entrance. Number 2, Joe Hendry. I'm thinking Joe Hendry could be a number 2 or like a number 1. So you get his full entrance too with everyone waving their hands. And a number like a opening like Jey Uso versus Joe Hendry to open a Rumble match is kind of funny to me. But I was watching some other Rumble matches back recently, and I've been looking like some of the more like recent ones. They've been doing really great with booking their numbers 1 and 2. You had in 2021, you had Orton and Edge, or Edge and Orton. 2022, you had Styles and Nakamura, which 2023 you had Gunther and Sheamus, and then 2024 you had Jimmy and Jay. So far, it's on a pretty good run of like picking the numbers 1 and 2 to like kind of progress a story, or maybe like do a little callback to another story. So I don't really know who they could do that with. There's a plenty of different options. You could literally do like Cena and Punk as number 1 and 2, which I don't think they would do, but that is an option. You could do Punk and Drew. You could do Seth and Punk. Um, I'm thinking Punk would probably come out at an earlier number than he did last year, but other than that, like Cena's definitely gonna be a late number. I don't think he's coming out early, because he's definitely gonna be in the final stretch. So having Cena do a 50-minute stint in the Rumble is just, I don't see it happening. If they do, I mean, if they prove me wrong, prove me wrong. But like, um, I don't know. I'm thinking that's it. Who do I think is going to be the Iron Man of this match? If Jay comes out at number 1, I think they'll give him the Iron Man slot. He did have that last year, so that's not there are better options. Um, yeah, Jay. Maybe they do it to Sammy. I would love to see Sammy in an Iron Man spot in the Rumble. And who do I think is gonna have the best showing? Penta. I'm kind of set on the fact that I think Penta's gonna have the best like showing in the Rumble. I think he's gonna come out early. He's gonna stay till like towards the end, maybe like final 6, maybe final 8. I'm thinking more likely like final 6 for Penta. Um, and then you'll have like a Santos Escobar eliminate him, and then that leads into another Latino versus Latino story that I'm kind of getting sick of at this point. Um, Ooh, I just thought of another surprise. Maybe Malachi Black. I don't know if his contract with AEW is done, but they just sent Zelina over to SmackDown. I don't know if that's like they sent Zelina over to get her away from the LWO and she's gonna like reunite with Andrade, or they have plans for Malachi um on SmackDown, so they're gonna send him over, and they want husband and wife to be on the same brand. That is, I think that's more likely, but I don't know if his contract with AEW is up yet. If it is, then he's definitely 100% in the Rumble. But also, I'm thinking he could do like what they did with the with Alistair's contract when it first expired, when they had like the like nobody knew his contract was up, so then they had him debut, and everyone's like, oh my god, like no one expected him. So I'm thinking now nobody knows when his contract's gonna be up. He just debuts in the Rumble, and everyone's like shocked. So I would like to see that. And then they send him to SmackDown. And SmackDown needs it definitely. I think that's it. I put Punk down for my men's prediction. EO down for my women's. I don't really know who's gonna get the Iron Man spot in the women's. Um, I don't know. I'm also thinking maybe a Becky Lynch appearance in the women's Rumble. I'd put more money on Becky Lynch than I would AJ Lee, but I'm thinking maybe they both show up. I don't know, because I don't know why they would announce a Charlotte Flair return. That would make me think that like they're announcing the Charlotte Flair return, so there's gonna be something bigger that happens because they kind of did that with like Orton and Punk at Survivor Series 2023. So we'll see. But other than that, that's really all I got for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It's is the most I've talked since a couple days ago. But yeah, so I'm gonna go heal up and get ready for the Rumble tomorrow. I hope you all are excited. If you have any like predictions or anything you guys want to say about the Rumble, leave them in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. Please like and subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.